Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to another week of streaming. Fun week ahead. A lot of interesting results, and thankfully, we were able to catch in of Klasa. Hi, how is the new coaching Klasa? How is the Josh?
It's high. It has been high. It will always be high. Whether we finish the league top half of the league or top four, I don't care. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Top four is still an option,
I
and
mean,
it
I
will
didn't
be there.
ask for delusion, but sure.
We'll see.
I don't want to deny this logic because there's not a lot of points difference. So yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
There's not a lot of point difference, and there's a lot of games yet to be played. So
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with Anirudh's Chelsea. A 2-1 win against Leicester. Safe to say, only you watched the game in the stream.
I don't care.
So you
Bro.
have to explain the performance of 11.
Genuinely saying, after the 2 years, 2.5 years of misery that we've been under, started to play consistent football. We started to play consistently good, consistent attacking patterns. Just that we have to stop giving silly mistakes in the defense, and I think we are sorted. I just want the next step for Chelsea to be winning against a top six club, and we are actually good. And I like how this guy is actually managing. He doesn't care a lot. I don't understand the stick that Madueke is getting. I think he's the only winger who can go inside and outside right now for the club. And I think he's doing it well. Yes, he does some shitty mistakes. Who doesn't? He's young. He will learn. But I liked, and I don't want this Jackson to ever be rated. Let him be underrated. Let others think that he is basically useless, and we let him keep on chipping with all these nuisance goals. And I liked how we got this goal. Basically, bullied his way to the first goal, and he's a genuine nuisance to defenders, in my opinion. It's that when you keep a quality player like Nkunku out of the side without giving him a place and starting Jackson over Nkunku looked diabolical 2 years ago. Now it's not diabolical anymore. And then he's becoming that consistent. And if in a busy period he can still maintain this consistency against top six clubs, he's actually got seven away goals this season. So I like he scored against Liverpool. He scored against a lot of important clubs. So I don't mind how he's playing.
Anirudh, so just before,
I
sorry.
think Jackson is like Darwin Nunes who can finish a little bit better.
I don't agree to this comparison at all, but I will tell you, Jackson is a much more well-rounded footballer at a younger age. Darwin Nunes is just shit. And I will see at this point in time, even easy one-on-one he will miss. The last season, if you compare this Jackson to Nunes, I would have agreed to it hands on because this guy's improved finishing one-on-one. The
That's
outside
why I said he's a Nunes who can finish. Why I had this comparison is Nunes, as much as he's not that great in front of the goal, he's still a nuisance on the field. He tracks back, he's a workaholic. He'll just listen to the manager, to the team. So having players like that is also important.
Yeah, and also, enough. I think Enzo Fernandez has had a resurgence in the recent past, right? Over the last 5 games.
I agree, Charlie. The thing is, I would not take Conference League as a parameter. Conference League and all, if you come and take as a parameter and all, that is a huge letdown because that guy's got a huge potential. It's not worked out for Chelsea yet. For some reason, he's been compared that outside the marriage is starting to play well. Nonsense. This becomes nonsense.
After outside divorce performances.
Yeah. But I see, the thing is, this is the only game where he could have excelled, and I'm happy that it worked for him this game because he was everywhere. He worked. I think he ran around 12 kilometers, and he basically was in defense and attack. I like the new position, and I like how Enzo Maresca masked his defensive liability. He was not asked to defend this game. You just go express yourself in number 8ish and 10ish role, and you will just arrive in the box late. And he got his goal and assist, and that's what he basically did.
I have a question for you. So Charlie and I were discussing this when you were just entering. For some reason, we still feel Chelsea is very much irrelevant, which is ironic or probably just stupidity on our part because they are just a point below City, right? Then I was starting to wonder, is it because you still don't have an identity? Does it even make sense?
No.
I don't watch Chelsea games, but how do you describe your playing style under Maresca? Do you see finishing?
Irrelevant to what? Irrelevant to title race or irrelevant in top 4, irrelevant in top 6, top 8? What is irrelevant?
Let's say
Okay,
Chelsea games aren't memorable. Would that be a fair?
I think mainly for me, Chelsea might not directly be like a dark horse or be taking everyone by storm or be the best of the rest. I don't think so, but I genuinely feel Chelsea has a say in how the title picture will go, because Chelsea on its day is able to beat any other team. So I think that is where Chelsea will be like having a better say, because they can get a result against City. They can get a result against Pool if they want.
The thing is, my point of view is because this is a memory of the recent past. No, Chelsea haven't been performing Chelsea's levels for the last 2.5 years, and your irrelevance, thought of irrelevance on why Chelsea are being irrelevant at Premier League makes sense. And I don't care at this point one bit, because I want us to be as much as underrated. No eyes on us. I don't care. And we are just chipping away with all these wins, and suddenly it'll be like 6 points in top 4. About top 4, 8 points about top 4. And the thing is, I can genuinely see a pattern of play, consistent attacking patterns and consistent defensive patterns. The way with Pochettino, where we couldn't see 1 ounce of attacking patterns, and with Graham Potter, we could not see 1 ounce of consistent football. I could see that in 10 games with Maresca. And that is a huge plus for Chelsea. Once this happens, the next step would be to start winning something. And I feel this season we might, without a shadow of doubt, Conference League should be like kept aside for Chelsea. If that is not one, it's a huge disaster for the club. That's what I say.
Who's your biggest competition there?
I have no clue. I genuinely have no clue. I don't know who we are playing. The thing is, I don't know who we are playing on Wednesday.
I think it's Astana in Kazakhstan, if I'm not wrong.
Fair enough.
Exactly tells you why we should be winning this.
Rohit.
Anirudh, I have another question for you. Who from the current Chelsea squad do you see leaving in the summer? There are a lot of players, a lot of good players, a lot of okay players. Who do you think is a good player, not an irrelevant player who leave? Like, don't tell me Raheem Sterling or whatever. Who's a good player do you think will leave?
I'll tell you. The good player that might potentially end up leaving might be Nkunku, Madueke. Nkunku would be a huge name. Madueke would be again a huge name. I genuinely see. I think we are anyways revamping the centre backs in January itself, and I don't think so. That's just even questionable. Shockingly, we have to ship out Badiashile and Disasi out of this club. But
not that shocking, honestly.
No. The thing is, how soon they came and how soon they are leaving. That is so shocking, and it's not shocking to me. Maybe it's shocking to you.
Not really.
Yeah, exactly. And I see the one more shocking name I would tell right now at this point in, because of his injury concerns. I want Reece James out of Chelsea.
No, he didn't.
Reece James.
I want Reece James out of Chelsea. I don't care. The thing is, the biggest
half of your fan base will drown in the Thames, bro. Come on.
I don't care. I'm a very pragmatic and a practical fan. I want his availability.
I think Anirudh is like the model Chelsea fan. He's like the epitome of everything that the club stands for.
No, I'm actually on board with this. Honestly,
player is their availability. Okay, so if that player is not available, then what is the point of giving him 250k wages, 200k wages? He's the club captain. He'll surely be the highest earning player as well, mostly. Yeah. So doesn't make sense for any club to keep him if he's going to play only 5 games. Same problem with Luke Shaw. We know for a fact on his day, Luke Shaw is going to be like the best left back.
Exactly. And I see the thing is, I don't care if my fans turn against me. See, you got to be practical after a point in time. If you are not available, please pack your bags and leave. And that is the... See, I can empathize with you only for a bit. At the point in time, I care about my club than a player. I want my
Fair
club to
enough.
win, and I want my club to be performing at the highest level. If Gusto is outperforming Reece James, if Disasi is available and he is giving me more service than Reece James, I will put Disasi above Reece James. I don't care how technically excellent you are.
That's true. All right, let's move on to the next game. Rohit and Arsenal. 3-0 routine win against Nottingham.
Yeah.
Rohit,
Yeah.
the first question to you before coming to the game is, how disappointed are you with Arsenal's recent run? Considering if you had played a little better, you could have been looking at like a 5-point opening or something against City.
I think before Rohit answers this, Arteta should stick with giving Rice the stick. Rice should not start, because the way they started, this is the only game I felt, I followed all the Arsenal games, this is the only game I felt they did not want to sit back after the first goal. They went, expressed themselves and wanted to score 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. And other games, I did not see this. I did not see the same. Saka was on another level. Odegaard was on another level. That's how they should play. And this is the same Arsenal I saw last 2 seasons back, and I'm seeing it this game. I don't know how different it would be for Rohit.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if at this weekend, like Nottingham have been really good this season. They had the record for the fewest minutes they've spent trailing, and I had predicted that record will be broken by Arsenal, and that happened. So you consider the rough start that Arsenal had at the beginning of the season. Some silly red cards, lot of injuries. Odegaard out for 7 games. If Arsenal had not won this game, and it was a must-win for us, you would think of it as the first 11 games as an excuse. But now, seeing the way we played, it looks more like an explanation, which is what I've always believed. For the past 2 seasons, Arsenal have been really good. One of the top teams. Like if you think about the beginning of the year, all through like the end of the last season, they were probably the best team in the league. Now, after the summer where we've added attacking talent, we've had Timber back, it's not that we've become worse magically, right? So there is some explanation to it. A lot of it is down to the red cards and injuries. So I really like the way we controlled the game. Nottingham Forest didn't really have a chance. We kind of put our foot on the throttle and we didn't take it off. Odegaard came off, Nwaneri came in and he scored. So overall, a brilliant performance. Now, if you want me to address the question about Rice, I think what's happening here is that Rice's best position is still, he is an elite 6. He's also a really, really good 8. My opinion is that Arteta wants him to play high up because he's able to go into those tackles, win the ball high up. The way you prevent other teams from scoring on you is win the ball high up. Rice is really good at it.
I would agree that he's an extremely good 6, but I would fight you on the heel saying he's an extremely good 8. He's a shit 8.
I don't think he's a shit 8. I think he has the engine
That's
to
my
play
opinion. I
as
don't
an 8.
see. The thing is, I'm a huge follower of Rice. I love him to bits. I wanted him at Chelsea. I'll tell you this, but he's an extremely good destroyer. If you ask him to go forward and make a forward pass, that guy doesn't have the instinct to put a forward ball.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Which is why I think, I wouldn't say he's a shit 8. He's a perfectly acceptable 8. I personally think his best role is at the 6 as the base of the midfield. And I feel like
why I am saying it's a shit 8 for you guys is you guys have the aspiration of a title hopes. For you, he's a shit 8. For us, for us, we are not at a title contention level. So for us, he might look like a good 8. For you, he should be performing like how Odegaard should be performing, and he's not at that level.
And I think Arteta has addressed that by bringing in Merino just to play at that 8.
Exactly.
And Rice moving to the base of the midfield. So in my opinion, our preferred midfield is Rice at the base with Merino left 8 and Odegaard right 8. And I think we're going to start seeing more of that. What's really surprised me is the resurgence of Thomas Partey. I did not expect him to hit the levels that he's hitting this season. I thought he was washed. I don't know if he's playing for a new contract. Somehow he's understanding his body better. And I think that's something that Jorginho does really well. He knows his limitations and he plays.
I will tell you one simple answer to this. It's because your medical staff left and he went to United, and United are fucked and you guys are not. It's as simple as that. Okay, he was a shit medical staff, and you guys shipped him off to United and saying, United, have him at your mercy. You can do whatever you want. I don't want him anymore.
Yeah, well, if that was true, we wouldn't have had the injury nightmare that we had this season. But okay,
Anirudh
I'll
casually
take that
checking
as a
in
good
one
bit of
against
banter.
United. Yeah. Anirudh
See,
casually checking in one against United. Yeah.
the thing is, no, I will tell you about this medical stuff. That guy, when a person is about to recover, he'll ask him to go play 90 minutes of football so that it will get better. That is basically the worst thing any player can do. You can do to a player. And that guy consistently does that, and that's why Partey was fucked at Arsenal. He said he was almost about to get 90-95%. He's there, and this guy will ask him to play 90 minutes, and he'll relapse to his injury, and he'll get fucked up. And you can, I don't know about whether Casemiro has noticed this pattern. When a guy is about 95%, he will play and he will go back. That's exactly what's happening with Mason Mount.
Right now, I'm not here to complain of injuries because there were 60 or 70 injuries last season. Tough to keep a track of so many injuries at United. But yeah, this season it's been much better, to be very honest. But Rohit, please continue.
Yeah. I think I do have to call out Saka. He's just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. That first finish, out of this world. I expected him to go near post. He goes across the face of goal. God damn.
Rohit, he is actually becoming a bit of a Robin type player, right? Like cutting in from the right and switching on to the left and shooting into the left. I can see many traits of Robin and Saka.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Robin's trademark move, right? Cut inside, curl to the far corner. But I think Saka has a lot more to his game. He's like every season you see him, you think, oh, like, you know, this is his limit, and then he learns something new, and then he takes his game up a level. And what I see very from Saka, like he used to be this, you know, oh, I'm this, you know, humble boy, praise the Lord, and things like that. But now you see his celebrations. It's like, it's me. I'm star man now. I'm like here. This is me, and I'll bail you out. This is my team. And that kind of arrogance is something that you see from like the really elite players, and he is stepping into that. If you look at like the top three, I think if I saw some crazy stat which was goals and assists, like the top three players, Salah, greatest winger of all time in the Premier League, in my opinion. Debatable, but my opinion. Haaland, goal machine, and it's Saka. That's insane, right? Look at the company that he's keeping at this age. It's insane.
Rohit, every time I see Saka play, I'm definitely impressed. But the run of form where Arsenal really struggled without Odegaard, I would have really liked to see him step up and be the star man that he was in your celebrations. If he had done that, you know, more efficiently, maybe I would buy a lot of
the
football.
thing is, Saka will have this odd bad game, okay, but he will still ship with a goal or an assist. And I don't like this comparison of players being compared, because even though they have a bad game, they'll have an assist, and that's basically the banter I have for Casemiro with Sancho, right? He will have a really bad game, but that guy will have an assist here or there, and I'll say, Klasa, he still got an assist. This is regarding Sancho, okay. And I'm saying the thing with Saka, he does the same thing, but he bails this team out when he needs to.
No, actually, Rohit, I think like Saka actually needs like a partner in crime for him. See, Saka and Odegaard make a really good duo, okay, but I think Saka's also had a really rough patches in between on many occasions over the years. I don't think Saka, like whenever he also actually has a bad game, he actually ships in a goals or assist. Like I've seen Saka go blank for like weeks in continuity or consecutively. So that's debatable.
He's
done
that this season. If you look at the goals and assists he has.
This season.
One thing is what I have observed is that because of the positional play that Arteta institutes, Saka has a lot more defensive responsibility than say a Salah does. And I feel that's the next step for Saka and for Arsenal. Arteta needs to find a way, and I think it will be helpful with Timber in the squad. He's a brilliant one-on-one defender, good backup to, or like even starting over White now. White is out injured for the next few months, so we'll really see I feel like what we'll see now is Saka being relieved a little bit more of the defensive responsibilities and being able to go ahead and play his game, where he really shines as an attacker, and we'll see more from him.
The real question for you is, will Arteta maintain the same 11 he started the Nottingham game, because that is the game where you guys went and expressed, and I didn't see you guys express as much as you did in the last 11 games.
I think
No, he will
think
not. And I'll
we are
tell you why.
speaking
And
about-
I'll tell you why. We have a busy week this week. We have had a lot of people coming back from injuries. Martinelli played for Brazil, came back. Havertz didn't start. He played for Germany. We have a big game coming up against Sporting on Tuesday. So, and then West Ham away after that. Like right now, I think we have like a game every three days until like January, end of January or something. This concept of a starting 11, it's outdated. Arteta is not going to play the same 11 week in, week out. There is a preferred 11. He's not going to play the starting 11 or whatever we played this weekend. It's going to take some time. But what I will say is that with Calafiori and Timber back, we're going to see the Arsenal of last season come back as well, because we now have reliable ball progression. And Odegaard back in the squad, that makes a world of a difference.
Yeah, I think it makes Premier League a better place if there is more than one team to challenge the devil that is Manchester
I
City.
think this season it's not about one team. I think this season is about 4 teams. Honestly.
Yep, I agree.
To the
Me
title?
at least.
Yeah.
To the title, I'll say.
And I'm genuinely putting Chelsea in that conversation.
Okay.
I want to see a more consistent run of form from Chelsea, mainly because Chelsea have not been in the title race for a few years. There is
100%.
Yeah, so I think ability-wise, I do agree with you. Chelsea is in it, but I feel like the conversation will change closer towards December. We'll see who, I think it's going to be Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. And
City?
Liverpool are favorites in my opinion.
I will come to City because I have a very interesting point for City. Klasa had something to say. We just kept cutting him off.
Yeah, actually, why don't we just let Klasa talk about
when we were speaking about Saka, Robin, Salah and all, Salah is more similar to Robin than Saka in my opinion, purely because of the pace and the same repertoire of skills that they have and the amount of work they don't have to do because they play forward end to end. Like you'll never see Robin track back for Bayern and all, but you'll see Saka doing it because in Arsenal, Saka is not the only right winger, but it's more of the entire right system itself. Saka, Odegaard, and Ben White. And the reason why Saka didn't flourish when Odegaard was not there is because it's a unit. Odegaard always creates the space for Saka to have just some amount of space to shoot on the right hand side, or Ben White who does consistent overlaps or underlaps to kind of create more space for Saka to play his game. And when that was not there, that is why you didn't see Saka playing like how he played this weekend.
And it's just that Saka also has the natural instinct of a defender. He's been a defender. He's been a right back. So he has the instinct of defending also.
Yeah, comparing
left back,
to Robin is just criminal. Saka at 25 is, or possibly much younger, is more multi-dimensional than Robin was at his prime. He was a pure pace merchant who cut inside.
Saka is 23.
Which is why I'm saying that Saka putting in Salah numbers or getting close to it at the age of 23 bodes very well for his future. If he stays injury-free, he's probably going to be an even bigger or a better winger than Salah is.
Yeah. Maybe that's
let's move on to the United game. Ipswich Town, Amorim's debut.
Yeah, it was a great game to start with. I was happy with what I saw because I know for a fact like this new manager is coming in with a new system. He's not going to budge in, and his interviews, he has taken the press and he has clearly got the control of the press, unlike what Ten Hag did before. When Amorim speaks, the press listens, and he is very adamant as well to the press. And with that kind of a charisma, you can easily bowl over the media whenever you want. A shit performance can also be changed. That's what Jose Mourinho always used to do. He used to always, like, even in a shit performance, he'll go to the media and say like his team performed well, and where it was bad for the other team, and completely shifts the dynamic. I think Amorim can do the same. When it comes purely to the team, again, I'm very happy with the way that we played, purely because we have players like Mainu, Yoro, Hoyland who didn't start the game for us, and they will be the players who will regularly start moving forward as well. I think Ugarte also not playing purely because he had the internationals was another downside, because he was amazing over the last month for Van Nistelrooy, and him not playing was possibly something. We were just missing legs in the midfield. Casemiro was getting caught out. Omari Hutchinson chose possibly the right team to play a great game, I would say. And the main issue was the space which was between the midfield and the defense, which was exploited properly by Hutchinson. But possibly once Ugarte comes back, I think it will be better. And
Didn't
also,
Ugarte start yesterday, Klasa?
no,
Ugarte
no,
started yesterday.
no, he didn't start.
Okay.
No, he didn't. The thing about what I liked about Van Nistelrooy and what I'm probably will like about Amorim is how Ten Hag made me believe that that Casemiro is a finished player. He made everyone in the Premier League think that he's a finished player. He made everyone think Ugarte is a shit footballer.
I mean, there's a theory that's going on that says like Casemiro, Eriksen, and Evans' combined age is 130. Okay, so like the Manchester United.
I do not agree that. See, I will tell you, I will disagree. I'll fight with everyone saying that Casemiro is a terrible footballer. The way that Ten Hag has portrayed him, and where he's also portrayed Mount, he's not. He just doesn't know how to maximize. The man made Bruno Fernandes looks like he's going to leave the team. And once Van Nistelrooy came, he looked like immediately I'm full of goals and assists.
Yeah, the team
that's how poorly managed United were.
The biggest mistake Ten Hag did was he brought Bruno too far from the goal, and he made him play deep, which is not Bruno's strength, ideally speaking. Bruno should be closer to the goal always, and considering that now Amorim will push him closer to the goal, and the defensive duties on Bruno is reduced purely because of the amount of players that are going to circle very close to him.
There are other players who can do the defense a lot better than what Bruno can do, to be entirely honest. And I genuinely feel Mount, Bruno, Ugarte will be the hugest assets for United coming forward in this midfield.
Yeah, they're all workaholics, and they'll listen to manager to the T. That's the thing. If they lose the ball, they will sprint back, and I think Mount does it all the time. And I remember saying this in the season beginning as well. Whenever we pressed, the press looked coordinated purely because Mount was playing.
Yeah.
And Mount is very good at that. And I think Amorim has also praised him. Once Mount regains his fitness and comes back, I won't be surprised if he plays with Bruno in that like 10 role, I would say.
I have one comment and one question for Klasa. One comment is that I feel bad for Johnny Evans. He thought he'll come, play a few games, he'll get his coaching badges, sail off into the sunset, maybe get an assistant coach with role with United. And here he is in the year of our Lord 2024 playing in a 3-4-3 high press system. Managing this whole thing. So I shout out for Johnny Evans, man.
No, the biggest irony Rohit is he was sent out of the team by Louis van Gaal because he couldn't play 3 at the back at that point of time. And the first game back, Ruben Amorim 10 years almost later, Johnny Evans starts in a 3-4-3 now.
My second question for you is it too early to call Højlund a flop?
No, see, the biggest thing, whenever you see a game...
sorry to interrupt, Rohit. There is Darwin Núñez. Yeah. Højlund isn't a flop. Højlund isn't a flop. Yeah. There's Darwin Núñez for us.
Flop isn't a singularity, da. There can be multiple flops.
There can be multiple flops.
Yeah.
See, for me, the main thing is Højlund. You'll see that he has played 30 games. Okay, and you'll see that he has scored possibly only 9 goals or 6 goals or 7 goals, which is not a great return for a striker. But if you're seeing the United games, you'd also see the amount of service Højlund gets. In many games out of those 30 games under Ten Hag, you would see in 20 games Højlund would have not even taken a shot. And when a striker does not get that service to even take a shot in the game, you cannot label that striker as a flop purely because the system is not functioning.
Under Xavi, Lewandowski looked like a flop.
The player
ready to play for Saudi.
That's fair. I think my comment on Højlund is that step up from, I think he came from Atalanta to United was a little too big for him. I think he had one intermediate move left in him before making the move to a big club like United, and that's where a lot of these players trip up.
I think that
The expectations are way on a very different level at these clubs. So I kind of feel bad for them. It's the same for me with Xerxes.
No, so
The problem
the thing is mainly for the striker, Hoyland or Xerxes, you need to get service to first finish it. But the main thing was Hoyland was not brought to lead the line for United last year. We were trying to get Harry Kane, and we were priced out of Harry Kane last year. Hoyland was technically supposed to be an understudy for Harry Kane,
Exactly.
and somehow whenever Harry Kane cannot play all the games. But since Harry Kane was priced out by Daniel Levy, we had no other option. We decided to just sign Hoyland alone.
That was just you being stingy, by the way.
Exactly.
You could have totally all the stars in the world lined up for you to get Harry Kane.
Levy did not.
Arguably, I think
the thing is, Levy did not want to sell Harry Kane to any Premier League clubs.
That's true, but
he didn't want another Berbatov. That's it.
From Harry Kane's perspective, I think the Bayern move made a lot of sense for him. I would have questioned 100 million acquisition of Harry Kane by any club, honestly, because he's still one of the best to ever do it. But I think it made a lot more sense for him to go to a league like the Bundesliga rather than stick around in the Premier League, where it would just become harder, and then you'd have questions about the investment.
Add to what Klasa said, the problem with a lot of United signings off late is, like he pointed out, people who should be coming in as understudies, they are, rushed into the starting 11, expected to bail out United at an age where they should be coming in.
Why are you talking about Kobe Mainoo here?
Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho, Diallo now. Diallo, shout out to Diallo.
See, some people who are really good, they have made the transition to being this important or crucial first team players. But by and large, what he says makes sense, right? Like, if you look at a successful club like City, how much time they are able to give for the new players coming in to learn the ropes of your formations, your playing style and everything. A player at United, or for that matter even Chelsea, doesn't have that luxury anymore. Hopefully a string of good results, these two clubs will allow that, because at the end of the day...
Tell again, because Chelsea has every possible luxury. I just want to listen what the luxury we don't have. We might want to do it also.
A big enough dressing room.
A big enough dressing room, yeah, that's a luxury we don't have. That I agree. We should basically build two dressing rooms.
A place in the Premier competition in football.
That I don't agree, because we've now just then I would tell a lot of other clubs also irrelevant. Arsenal was fighting for a top. Fighting doesn't make them a club.
What do you mean? They are a staple team in UCL.
UCL.
Stable team in UCL.
How does it
this season, last season?
That's what I'm saying. 2 seasons.
I don't know. See, the thing is, Charlie, Klasa, we don't even talk. I think even Rohit would disagree with you on this. Stable team in UCL is not their parameter. They have to win that.
Fair enough.
It's not some label for a stable team.
No, see, my point is UCL is the elite competition, and it really helps for your youngsters to gain experience and exposure there, playing with teams from other countries. Anyway, move on to the Liverpool game, because I think we are all here for one game. It's a shame that we don't have fans from either of that club, but we'll quickly cover Liverpool before jumping there. Charlie, Liverpool won 3-0. Salah is off to another club.
Not 3-0.
First and foremost, thank you to Mohamed Salah for saving my FPL. Single-handedly, he saved my FPL.
Yeah,
me too, Klasa.
I just pity all the Palmer owners because of what Madueke did against Chelsea in Chelsea game. The man basically defended a goal, saying, "I'm not letting this guy score today."
Okay, so shout out to the Egyptian Kings, Mohamed Salah. He also saved my FPL this week. So see, we have been having a huge purple patch over a long streak of months. Okay, so it's been like 4 to 5 months since we lost against Nottingham Forest, and although it's been running on Arne Slott's head over the months, we've not looked like we would definitely lose a game since Nottingham Forest. Even this game, as Southampton also hit 2 goals.
5 months of good run, and he's still calling it a purple patch instead of saying revolution.
I'll tell you something. Charlie is the first.
I'm on
Liverpool
this with
fan.
Charlie. I have thoughts
Charlie
about that.
is the first Liverpool fan to come with me and saying, chest up, saying, we are in the title, man. We are here to win it. No Liverpool fan will ever agree to what Charlie just said. Everyone will basically be timid saying, we are not in the title race. We are not going to win it. We are going to fuck it up. Every Liverpool fan I've met said this.
See,
I wonder why. It's almost
for
like
example,
as a United fan,
Wait.
I hope every Liverpool fan's dream that wish comes true. Okay, that is all I can pray for.
Okay, see, even in the 1920 season, even as pessimistic as our history was, okay, I was really confident that even we had the 25-point gap or 24-point gap, the title is sealed. There is no chance for us to lose this title after 30 years. This is the revelation that comes like the 10 commandments of Christ. Okay, so I think this can be the second season that can be the revelation for our fans. Okay, since every single person on our team and every single player have hit their top form. Every single player looks like a charm. They are like the gold in the needle stack or the gold in the garbage. Okay. So only like a couple of players, notably like Robertson or even let's say like Trent. Trent sometimes has a really rough patch or a rough game then and there. I think Arne Slot is losing his patience with Robertson and is looking to replace him in the winter or the next summer, to be honest. And
Robertson is the Kyle Walker of Liverpool.
Yeah, he is becoming the Kyle Walker of Liverpool. I don't see any pace or quality from him, and his quality has declined.
Wow.
So, with respect to this game,
you know what? I'll take
to be honest,
Anirudh's right back and Charlie's left back at Barca if you don't want them. We have had a
I will tell you
so-
something. You'll be dumb. You are dumb to take both of them because they are at a Branislav Ivanovic slide. He is an extremely good right back, but they are at a huge slide.
Yeah,
I think you are
who paid 150 million for Coutinho, so they'll do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
No, Barca have changed. So yeah. So
dude, we bought a 37 or 45-year-old Dani Alves to fix our right back situation.
Right back.
More than 3 years ago. So we could do a lot worse than Reece James.
I still remember Oscar Mingueza, Sergio Dest, Dani Alves. Oh shit. What were those options, man? Okay, so like coming back to Liverpool, right? So it was a solid game yesterday. I definitely thought we would come back. Shout out to Salah for that brace and running it back at St. Mary's Stadium after removing that shirt. So looking forward to the next 2 games, to be honest, against Real Madrid and Man City, and looking forward to welcoming Carlo Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola to the Arne Slot Penitentiary. So,
are you saying title is a done deal?
Nope.
Is that what you are saying?
Not even near.
When do you see? I like the pace he has come. He's saying that we are going to win it, but I don't know when. So when do you think the title will be done? Maybe probably as a week.
It will go to last 3 weeks.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's really bold, Charlie. This is what Pep Guardiola has.
Yeah.
You know what?
Charlie,
I'm going to say next weekend. If you win against City, it's done. It's done.
No, wait. Why I'm being afraid here is Pep Guardiola will do this Ghanaian juju magic in Man City's team, right?
This season
they will go on a 20-match unbeaten run starting from February.
This season he's not going to do
shit.
Of that. This season he will not do shit.
Without Rodri.
I think the title will be decided in game week 36 when Arsenal go to Anfield.
That's too late. That's too late.
If I'm not wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when the title will be decided. Because
I will tell you.
I'll tell you what. Okay. Liverpool, to your point about the purple patch, Liverpool have really done well to navigate this. They've had a relatively easy start. I wouldn't say it's an easy start. There are no easy games in the Premier League. Yesterday, I was very surprised by how long it took Liverpool to actually win. If Southampton had gotten a result against Liverpool, the table is looking very different, right? Right now, Liverpool are 9 points ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea. 7 points ahead of City.
8 points.
But if you drop 2 silly points against Southampton or 3 points, it changes in a flash. Now you play. You have a really tough run coming up.
Plus, I love how these guys went from City is killing the league to we are closing it. Game week 36, game week 34 in a matter of 5 games.
I didn't say it'll close. I think it'll be decided in game week 36. City is not out of it. Remember, they are Manchester City. They can spend $100-200 million
In the January window.
in January and
I
like
think
get
I
some.
have an extremely surprising take when you guys talk about City. I will tell you.
But here's the thing: we've never seen Guardiola lose like 5 games in a row. He's never done that, right? City they have a lot of older players. They're definitely not the force they were over the past 3 or 4 seasons, and the league has never been so competitive. So it's too early right now to say who's going to seal the title. It's going to go at least until April, probably in the first week of May. That's when we'll have a clearer picture. And I'll be very pragmatic about it. Coming back to Liverpool, Salah, man, hats off to him. He's just like, it's sad because I feel like this is the last season we are going to see of Salah. And I'm very, very disappointed by that because he plays for
2025
Liverpool,
Camp
but
Nou,
I
he'll be
fucking
there no
love
matter
watching
what.
him. He's incredible.
Guys, wait a minute second. The contract is coming. Don't worry. The contract is coming.
Really, it's not.
He wants a
It
4-year
is-
contract at 350K. Liverpool will be stupid to pay him that.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
is
so.
And they're not going to do it. They're a well-run club. They're not going to do it.
I don't know about the well-run part.
I think they'll prioritize Van
They're
Dijk
extremely
and-
well-run. What do you mean?
They
They're
will
extremely
prioritize
well-run.
Van Dijk and Trent's contract.
I'll tell you something. The way that Liverpool are playing, Liverpool should have sorted out all these contract issues long back. If they are dragging it, they'll play a lot of things in players' mind. They are not a well-run club because this is the reason. Same reason. That's bane for Liverpool is where they are geographically situated in UK. They have no player wants to come to Liverpool because of their geographical location. That is one part. The second thing is FSG will not spare a dime. They will not care. They will not care whether you're winning until 36. They should have sorted this contract for me before all this nonsense. And Salah coming out and saying, I wanted the contract.
That
and
was
I'm not
really
got
bad
any
image.
offer.
But to Rohit's point, maybe they don't want Salah to renew.
Yeah,
They just want to
and
win the title.
I genuinely think Salah is leaving, Robertson is leaving, Alexander-Arnold is leaving, Van Dijk is in his last legs, he's gone. So
it's
the
gonna be
next season is
sucking
going to
off.
be very interesting. But this season, I think if they win against City the next week, it will on another 2-3 weeks they have a very favorable set of fixtures. With I think they'll definitely see.
Asa, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I think Liverpool. I don't think they will walk away with the league like how Charlie says.
Yeah,
It will be close. It will go till the last.
I don't think he's saying that though.
Yeah, I didn't think I would.
I am
walk away with
the
it.
only one. I am the only one who is saying they'll walk
Even
on.
if-
Anirudh is the only one who's saying that.
Yeah, when Anirudh told me, I said nope. That's it.
Chumma, he's just trying to jinx you for the top four.
Yes, you said March. Okay, March in itself is early.
Okay.
You still have April and
March
May.
end. I will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I don't think it will be decided by April end.
Yeah, I think one thing people were talking about was last year, which was Jurgen Klopp's final season. They were like, "Oh, this is like Liverpool's swan song" and things like that. I think this is it. This season is the one that's it because all these big players are coming up at the end of their contracts. So if there is ever a season to win it, it's this one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this Liverpool team has deserved more titles than they got.
Yeah.
It's only because of City that they don't have it. So, and we
If at
all know how they got there. So,
If at all FSG has to spend, they have to spend in the January transfer window now because they are not. Liverpool is not going to be in a position like this like next year or the year after. So if Zubimendi has to be signed, it has to be signed now because that will catapult them from a challenger to a title finisher. And if FSG does not spend now, it becomes a clear setting of their expectation.
Good luck signing
so Charlie, if there is one person out of all these top players whose contracts are ending, you would absolutely want to keep. If I give you like only one player,
don't give him Salah. Salah is obviously
no. I want to know. It's
Okay,
like who all are ending? Like Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, and Alisson.
Alisson is gone. Alisson, they have already signed the replacement. So
okay. So who is that one player that you would absolutely want to keep? You'll move heaven and earth to keep.
Holy shit. Trent.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
I don't
Trent.
think he's staying though.
he's
Madrid
I
bound.
don't think so. He's staying.
so
I think he hates Liverpool right now.
Who? Trent. Come on, bro. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
No, Anirudh does have a point. You seem to have, pushed out a lot of your own players.
Now chumma avana boy. I just told for the heck of it.
He's just taunting me. Come on.
Yeah.
I myself know he's taunting me. Come on.
Yeah, I think Zubimendi would be an incredible addition to Liverpool.
Incredible, yeah.
I don't
We
think
have tried to sign Zubimendi for 4-5 years now. There is
I won't
something
be
about
surprised if Zubimendi goes to City now to replace Rodri.
if there is,
Rodri,
if in fact there is one club where in the Premier League where Zubimendi would end up, it's more likely Arsenal than any of the other clubs.
So Chelsea.
No, you just want Merino from the
Chelsea.
same club, bro. Come on. You just want Merino from the same club.
No. I'm just telling you. So
Here's the
you
thing,
guys
because
can,
Edu
you guys
left.
can plan. You guys can plan. We will buy him, and we don't care
Here's the
where
thing,
he plays.
Edu, the sporting director, left for Nottingham Forest. So the top replacement candidate for Arsenal right now is Sociedad's sporting director, who also resigned, or he's going to leave at the end of the season.
No, isn't it Thomas Rossi?
No, I mean, he's one of the candidates. I don't think it's a serious candidate. And the fun fact, very interesting, is that the sporting director, I don't remember his name. Last name starts with an O. He signed Arteta for Sociedad back in like 2003 or something.
This is a really interesting question to you, Rohit. The thing is, do you like the amount of power Arteta is getting despite not winning anything?
The PR and the marketing
Good question.
engine is being like overworked like anything. Yeah.
I think so. I don't know if he'll get power.
I will play another situation to you. I will play them. Let's say he decides a sporting director. He buys him. I mean, what he plays a major role recruiting the sporting director, and you guys don't end up winning anything this season again. What do you think will be the question? What will you actually think is going to happen to Arteta? I think if he doesn't win, he's sacked this season.
no way.
I don't think he's sacked. There is no way Arteta is going to get sacked this season. The only way Arteta gets sacked this season if we end up outside the top 4, which is not happening. And I mean, this season anyway, we are not getting a new sporting director until the summer. Now, to answer your question, if we get a sporting director that Arteta has a major role in bringing in, and then next season we also go tied, like, we don't win anything this season. Next season also we don't win anything. That's when Arteta has to go.
See, I will tell you something. The way that he's played his phases of saying project for the last 3 seasons, and Arne Slot just comes and wins it the first season. I'll tell you, that is major pressure on
That's
Arteta.
not a good look.
No, but
that is not a good
you have to. Context matters, right? Because when Arteta came in, Arsenal were really, really in a terrible place. They were not a well-run club.
No one cares, because last season it was just a matter of one goal that didn't really
but fans don't care. But the owners care, right? You need to have thoughtful ownership behind the club.
I don't think Arteta inherited a good squad. Unai Emery's squad.
He didn't at all.
And
literally,
of course, you can say that he has taken 5 years, which is quite long in the current context of time, I would say, because no manager gets 5 years like how Arteta has got now.
But that's actually really good.
Has to be grateful for with the club, because they stuck with him when Arsenal was at an all-time low as well. So you have to give credit to the club, but at the same time, 5 years you're not going to get in any other club. So Chelsea will never give 5 years, or even Liverpool, for example, wouldn't have given 5 years to Jurgen Klopp if Klopp didn't hit a Premier League.
Absolutely.
So if Arteta hadn't shown continuous improvement in the trajectory of the club over the past 5 years, he would have gone in 2021. That season where we missed out, or 2022, where we missed out on top 4 by like a few points, couple of points. That's when he would have gone. But clearly, it is like bringing a club up to top 4 contendership is, it's a hard challenge, but it's not an impossible one. Yeah. Bringing a club from where we were, 8th position, to continue to challenging for the title back to back in 2 seasons, doing it again, I still believe we'll do it this season. That's very hard, and credit to the owners, KSC, for sticking with Arteta. And it's the formula that they've followed in not just Arsenal, but all their other franchises, and they've had success in all these other franchises. So I could go deeper into that in another episode or something.
Genuinely big club in Premier League and UCL, right? Like, how was Arsenal when they fared against
Premier League? Yes, I think you're bullying him with the UCL tag again and again.
No, but here's the thing. I mean, sure, you can say that Arsenal have never won the UCL. Here's the thing. the cultural pull of Arsenal does exist. You can deny whatever that happens, but the cultural juice exists. It's big in the consciousness of the footballing world, and to have where we are right now, to come back up where we are after where we have been over the banter era, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, they
Maybe
are
we should
past their
move to
banter
City.
era thanks to Arteta. Thanks for that philosophical take, Socrates. Or that's the mistake. Let's talk City game.
Yeah.
5 defeats in a row.
Pep is finished, bro. Pep is not getting top 4. That's my hot take.
Yeah. Hey, me too.
Oh,
Pep
that
is
is
not
a
getting
hot
top
take.
4.
United had 64 injuries last year and we finished 8th. City had 1 injury and they are already in a crisis.
Yeah.
1 Rodri injury. That's
I'll
it.
tell you something. Let's keep this hypothetical situation. With Rodri, I still think they're losing the game 3-1.
I think with Rodri,
Let's hear it. You've wanted to talk about City for quite some time. What do you have to say?
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying City are done. City are finished. I'm telling you in an exaggerated way because they have been holding up the standards for 5 seasons now, and I will keep them to that standards. If they are coming to top 4 fight so soon, and if Liverpool win next game, whether you like it or not, they are in a top 4 race. And if they again go to Nottingham and lose, they are in a top 6 battle. Okay, so I will tell you something. The way that City are playing, they have no patterns. They have no idea. They are doing the repetitive same thing. Every club knows what they are going to offer right now. Even at the point where they played against Arsenal, Arsenal knew everything that City were going to do until the equalizer. It was very unfortunate the way they conceded the last second, but Arsenal had them completely, blocked. And
Sadly, would you agree with that? You have been the biggest victim of Liverpool.
Yeah.
Sorry, City the last 5 years.
Okay, I would be very critical here, but Man City will be like Man City will get only 3rd or 4th place according to me.
fourth,
This season.
very.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why am I being this considerate is that when Rodri season ended, or even Rodri season ended, and he was a savior of Manchester City in many games, Gundogan was actually primed and got back from Barcelona to fill his shoes, and Gundogan was actually expected to fill his shoes against Tottenham and many other big games.
I was surprised. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
exactly. I'll tell you so surprised because everyone who was saying that Gundogan is shit for Barca, I did not agree with them, and I thought
He posted a video saying we made a huge mistake.
Basically lying, and he came and he basically I understand why they are saying it's shit. And
But
the other point is Foden has gone missing. Foden looks like a second.
No, that's because of Pep choosing Savio over Foden. That's his mistake.
I'll tell you, the Savinho guy is the fastest, slowest worker. He looks extremely busy but does shit.
Yeah. It's just like the video meme where the guy just shakes his head for every other action and just
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. He's extremely busy but does nothing.
But that's nothing.
Ultimately speaking, they are, even though like we can say all we want, they just miss 1 Rodri. Like he keeps things ticking. He keeps the ball moving. He brings every player into the game, which currently is not happening. Kovac is also injured. Like
I'll tell you something, Klasa. Why I
there is not a
disagree
single
is
person who can get the ball on the turn from the defense. Just turn, see who is there right next. Right now, Rico Lewis is doing double shift. He is also covering Kyle Walker, who is defensively been atrocious, and he is also expected to progress the ball. Rico Lewis is doing everything right now.
I think this is the first season where Pep is relying on individual brilliance rather than a system. There is no sense of patterns of play. It is relying on individual brilliance of Savinho, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne can pull 1 or 2 assists here or there. He is not going to be a playmaker this season because after an international break, you are gaining momentum by giving him the contract during the international break. I expect all the points to be favoring City to win this 3 or 4-0, and they end up losing 4-0 is something surprising. It's raised an eyebrow because they genuinely are struggling. It's not. I don't agree to this because of Rodri. He's genuinely run out of ideas, and I understand his empathy, and I can empathize with Pep because he's been competing for 5 years. He will run out of ideas, and this is showing up very openly.
And I think that is where I was surprised this summer when they didn't recharge the team. Like they brought in Savinho and they kind of got Gundogan back, but they didn't invest in youth that much because they have such an old team right now. Everyone is on the
28
early side
years
of 30s,
average.
and you have Pep right now who's struggling and who has been there for 10 years. Ideally speaking, if you were planning to give Pep a contract, you should have then invested in the summer and brought the players that Pep would have
And
wanted.
I genuinely think Pep shouldn't have agreed to the contract extension. He should have left.
Yeah, I thought
What
he
that
was.
tells me, honestly, what that tells me is that they have promised Pep that they're going to do some major investment in in January and in summer. There's no other way.
I think they are saying there's another way of saying that 115 charges is not going to happen. Just keep the vote of confidence in us.
Or the way I look at it is, you look at social media about this 115 thing. Nobody's talking about the actual legal issues, right?
Now they will come because they're losing games.
PR makes a difference. Re-signing Pep in the shadow of this whole 115 charges thing sends a message, a PR message that, hey, everything is fine. Maybe it's not. We don't know. So
there might be a contract. There might be a clause to say if the 115 charges is there, Pep might just walk free. There might be clauses. Who knows?
Who knows? Yes.
So if comes to shove, all of City players are walking away. Given the gravitas of these charges.
Yeah, and I also agree with this. I was very surprised that they didn't recharge the team. They sold Alvarez, and now they have a bunch of old people playing relatively old. I mean, I shouldn't say it.
I think Klasa also brought it up, right? I think there is a reason why they didn't sign players. I think they were probably lobbying with the Premier League that, hey, we understand that we are really, knocking on the doors of these charges to a point where it's going to be very difficult for Premier League to not act. So we are going to keep quiet this summer. So slowly, while in the background, we work it all out.
And there's another thing that struck me is that none of the teams made any huge signings, like Arsenal, Liverpool, City. So what that tells me is that
don't even think about saying Chelsea.
No.
He just said it.
Did Chelsea spend a lot of money on someone this
What do
summer?
you mean, bro? We did. But we also
I don't even remember.
We also ended up selling a lot, so we didn't look like we sold. So,
yeah,
the sun
here's the thing. I think
East,
with the whole associate party transaction rules that just came into place, I feel like there was a lot of uncertainty about it in the summer, which is why none of the big clubs spent a huge amount of money, or they were very financially prudent. And the other thing is with City's charges, it would take a lot of convincing for a player to move to City at this point, a top quality player to move to City at this point.
Ooh.
And if there is a player who is good enough to play for City, they are only good enough to play for a handful of clubs. So maybe they are biding their time.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jude Bellingham to City the next 2 years.
He's another shit player.
It will only happen. It will only happen if City survive 1-1-5.
Yeah. Seriously, Jude Bellingham to City is not happening, mate. Come on. Yeah. It's a fever dream.
Charlie worked for Bellingham for 5 years and look where he's
I still see that transfer happening, to be honest.
Man? All the players that Charlie wanted are playing.
Wait. Okay, see, I have
entire midfield Charlie wanted was playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, Saicedo, Lavia, Bellingham. Okay, see, I have this theory. Okay, historically, over the last 7 years since Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, the CEO of Manchester City, took over Manchester City, he has always had this practice of offloading players even when they are at their peak to fund the changes and to rotate the squad and to win the leagues whenever it's possible. He just doesn't guarantee game time for just because Jack Grealish comes in as a superstar into Man City. He just doesn't guarantee game time.
True.
And if Jack Grealish also proves to be a liability next season or this season,
they don't mind
offloading.
They have done it.
I'll ask you something.
Ani, wait a minute. Why? Give me 1 second. What I am puzzling, what is puzzling about Manchester City is why they didn't think about offloading Kevin De Bruyne or even Kyle Walker or any of those players who have had historical success with Manchester City, and those players actually needed to be recycled. Why didn't they?
I don't think they believe that. If that was the case, he would have shipped them out. Kevin De Bruyne is still there.
Kyle Walker wanted to leave this season. Kevin De Bruyne wanted. Kyle Walker wanted to. Basically, Pep went to this restaurant and said, "Please stay." And he stayed.
Yeah. I mean, why didn't City do this? And they are self-sabotaging, to be honest.
It's a mistake.
So,
That's
yeah,
why they are
See,
struggling.
that's a
there
huge
was
mistake.
uncertainty at the beginning of the season because they didn't know whether Pep is going to stay or not. You cannot buy 200 million worth players for the team and you bring someone else who is not going to play the Pep style of way. Of course, they will say you have to play this way, but every manager is different. So you are not going to invest unless they know that Pep is going to certainly stay. And Pep has now indicated he is going to stay. Again, we don't know why, the reason or the timing as to why it was done at that point of time as well. Is it to say like we are backing the manager or there is no crisis? It's just proper PR, as Rohit said.
I mean, I saw the signing image, and Pep definitely didn't look happy in the picture. That I can guarantee. Yeah.
I'm pretty
This
sure
is just sports psychology. I don't agree with any of this. So, should we also take a moment to acknowledge Spurs? We have spent nearly 10-15 minutes talking about a 4-0 defeat where we haven't given an ounce of credit to the team that pulled off.
I mean, yeah,
No,
kudos
see,
to
the
Madison.
thing is, we don't have to spend too much time giving Spurs credit here because next week we'll come and say how Spurs has
Next
been
week
poor
is going to
against
be an L. That's simple way of putting it. Spurs. They're the most unserious football club.
No, who's Spurs are playing against next
Chelsea.
Can he?
Doesn't
I
Chelsea.
think they are playing
not
Fulham.
Chelsea.
They are playing Fulham.
Fulham.
Okay.
Or Raul Jimenez is going to hit the hat trick, mate. Come on. Yeah.
They're playing Fulham and they're playing Chelsea. So yeah, again, they're
Oh,
back to back.
Anyway, I think
I can see them dropping points to Fulham and Chelsea.
See, the only thing I
Definitely.
think about them is being inconsistent. So we can just give them credit for this week alone because I'm pretty sure we have to eat our words back next week.
No, yeah,
I
fair
can't
enough,
give them
okay.
credit, man. That's too far for me.
City
I
are
have to
so
do
shit.
something for
I'll
this.
tell you something. City are so shit that they made Werner got an assist, dude. Seriously,
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Werner got an assist.
You
Come
know,
on.
Kyle Walker is finished when Werner does that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Good stream. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Bye bye.